Hello. I have created a new chapter here because you could only have 64 chapters. So I have started a new study. I've started a new study here with more chapters, more Magnus's games. One way you can find all the studies here, if you're not so used to leashes, is that you can just search for this is my surname Ulsan chess books here on leashes, and then if you click on my account here, my profile account, then you can see here is my first study and here is the second one, so you can easily find them. I will also make links and try to advertise this also. So, and of course, if you want to analyze, because you cannot save and overwrite stuff that I have done here in the studies. So what you should do then is that you should create a copy of the study. And I think you do it let's see here. No, it's not delete story, because you can see everyone. You can clone the study. So you can clone it, and that means you copy it and save it under your account if you want to make comments or analyze yourself or so. So here, if you go to this one here, there is the clone. So if you want, either download it or then you clone it by pressing here, and you get a copy of the study in your Leeches account. So next tournament that Magnus played, it was the King's tournament in Romania. And as you can see, Magnus made a great tournament, 5 victories and 5 draws and 0 losses, and he won it more than 2 points before Rajabov and Gelfand. And it looks like the Chinese player Wang had a bad tournament here, and actually I don't remember him at all, so I guess maybe this, because we will look at his game here again. He was 27-50, but I don't know if he stopped chess, or if it went bad for him and then he stopped chess or something. But all the other players here still plays. Of course, Gelfand and Nicepianu are old, quite old now, so they are not as good as they were. Gelfand played World Championship match against Anand. It was the match, it might have been 2008 or 2009, 10, something like that. It was a little bit of a surprise, but it's a strong player, Gelfand. And then the match after that was when Magnus played Anand and took the World Championship title. And Nicepianu is also a little bit lower rated. I think he might be from Romania. That's why he's playing here. And Ponomarinov, he was also this child chess genius, and here he is a strong player, but he also got worse quite early. So now he's just 2600. I don't know if he's not playing so good. Of course, Rajabov has been doing great. He was playing several of the latest candidate tournaments and was quite close for a World Championship match. So he's of these players here, only Rajabov is still around in the top chess. But at this time, 15 years ago, these players were also strong players, of course. And what was fun in this tournament, it is that Magnus played some very, very unusual openings here, as we will see. He was probably a bit relaxed. He won Vaikansea. He's by far the highest rated player with over 2800, and he it was a little bit Magnus has often quite a lot of hybris. He thinks he can do, because he's the biggest chess genius ever, he can do he can play all openings. Like, he doesn't have to study because he's such a genius that he will win in the end anyway, like by his talent. So we will see that a lot in this tournament. He plays some unusual weak openings, but quite interesting ones, and it will turn out good for him. As you can see, he didn't lose a game here. So first game we're looking at is Magnus against Wang, and here he plays the King's Gambit. It's of course a very bad opening. It loses almost a pawn for nothing. As you can see, the computer doesn't like it. But black doesn't play the correct response. Computer prefers to take the pawn. But he plays something is known as the Falkbeer counter gambit. And it's like this. And here there are 3 moves for black. He does the one that he does this one. So it becomes a bit like the King's Gambit. This one line for black is to play like this, and then this and this, and we have like the same position in the game. The other line that's quite good for black, it's this c6 here, and basically this is a good like blitz try, because I don't know if at this level, of course not, but in blitz, like this loses at once because of the check here, and you lose the rook. So this c6 here is an interesting try. I don't know the theory here, but just something like this. Black has quite nice play for a pawn here if white does that. And something that you probably should not do is this one, because white will just trade off this pawn and get out his position, and there is some chances for white to get a small advantage here, I feel like. As you can see, the computer is not such a fan of e4. So it took there, so now it's normal. This is a normal King's Gambit line. And it's already, of course, a little bit better for black, but it's just it's quite even here. Computer likes this one, which I don't really like, because this looks like black can get some kind of a compensation. I think this is like the main theory here. Okay, so they decided to take here. That's interesting. Sometimes they do that, they take so that they get out their knight with tempo. Of course, something like this would be possible, and just next move maybe take and win back the pawn here. The problem for white is always that even if you do like this and win back the pawn for maybe you have lost the bishop pair for nothing. Basically you have the center, but it's just not such a great opening, and this is not like one of the sharper openings. This is a solid line for black also. So let's see what happened here. He did this one and he went all the way back. That's a little bit surprising, maybe, that he couldn't find a more active square for maybe something like this. Could be fine, but yeah. Okay, he decided to go all the way back. I don't know the theory here. And now the computer likes to defend a pawn here. The thing with this pawn, it's just not only that black has a pawn more, it's also that the white pieces that want to attack the f7 pawn, they can't get out. So yeah, definitely an interesting way. Now it's quite an even game here. Black has the bishop pair, but white has the center, so it's quite an even game here. But I mainly wanted to show this game because of the unusual opening here. Now, of course, it's quite a normal position here, and in a position like this, Magnus' superior positional understanding can make him win this game, as we will see. Like here, for example, like I could, for Magnus it might be obvious like to take with a knight, but I would think why not take with the pawn? Like why is it better to take with a knight? I would have zero ideas about that, but I'm trusting Magnus, that's better to take with a knight. And it's also weird, he goes into the pin, but it looks fine because he can go here sometimes. And he can do that now because black didn't make a luft. That's from it's the Swedish word for air, so they often say make luft or lufta. It's getting air because you need breathing air for the king so you don't get suffocated on the back rank. So black, because he didn't lufta, then it's possible to do like this because you come to this because of the back rank mate, of course. That's also interesting, like to go into like a pin like that voluntary. It worked tactically now, but I would be very scared to go into such a pin. Okay, but now Magnus has played. He has played very forcefully. Brought the knight is good here defending the pawn, and he has a very strong passer here. So from a position like this, where he just has like looks like it's the easiest thing to get a draw here for black. Like even I would be confident that I would hold this as black, and then Magnus just push down the pawn, and it has just working for him like magic. So it's something about Magnus' brain. Like it's unlikely that we will know the secret of the human brain during our lifetime, but if Magnus' DNA like gets preserved, maybe like in thousands of years, we understand like how he could win such position from nothing. Okay, yeah, that's good to defend the knight with the pawn. That's just good practice. And okay, so this is also quite typical. Like black have no plan, no active play at all, and he basically gets tired and take here. The computer thinks that's the best also. Why? Because apparently it's time for not so easy to understand why he had to sacrifice, but of course like just letting white build is maybe not the best. So black has a bishop and pawns and queen. It's probably a technically winning position for white. I would guess that even if the queens gets traded. The back bishop is bad because it can only defend his pawn, it can't attack the opponent's pawn. So let's see how Magnus converts this. Yeah, he trades, that looks right. And now he just has to get in his king in the position, and it's a win then. And here black makes a big blunder, but I think it's probably a winning position for white anyway in the long run. But of course allowing white to get a past h pawn with g4 here, that's just a a big error. Yeah, and here he had to take the pawn, but I think it's definitely winning for white anyway. And even if black takes a pawn, it's definitely a mate here. So they think like this. Yeah, you can't go here because you lose the queen. Have to go like here maybe. And this is easy mate. Okay, next game we will look Nisse Piano against Magnus.